Hey everybody, welcome back to Podcasts and Such, where we are watching Mob Psycho 100, 2 episodes at a time. I'm Jay.
And I'm Luke.
Today we are watching Season 2, Episodes 7 and 8, Cornered True Identity, and Even Then, Continue Forward.
We sure are.
Yes, we are. Yep. So, two very eventful episodes.
I know. I'm emotionally in shambles.
Yep.
I know I sound like it as well, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we start
Let's-
Cornered True Identity where we left off. Reagan's gonna be on national TV.
Yeah, and I was totally right. I was absolutely correct last episode.
Yeah, you're correct in your prediction that he
Yeah.
wasn't gonna be exposed as a fraud on TV.
I said he was going to be exposed, yeah.
Yeah, that's totally what you said. Yeah.
What? No, did I really not?
Yeah, you said that sounds too predictable. I don't know if maybe you were being sarcastic, but you said, yeah, maybe not. Maybe
okay.
that sounds like the easy route or something like that.
I said maybe not. Said
Okay.
that it could go a different way, but it
Yeah.
sounded like he was going to get exposed as a fraud on TV.
Well,
Maybe that's
not
not what I said.
Yeah,
The
I don't know.
vi-
I'm not done editing that episode into a video yet, so I'll be listening back to it today.
Okay. Well, don't say that. Let's rewind here. So if I say in that episode that I don't think Reagan will be exposed for a fraud,
Mm-hmm.
would you mind going into this episode and taking my line right here? I think Reagan is going to be exposed as a fraud. Cut.
I think our listeners need to know the truth.
I mean, that's fair. I'm
Yeah,
sure
I don't know. Well, and again, you might have been being,
that's possible because I was pretty convinced watching it. I was like, "Oh, sweet, I was right."
interesting. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll listen back to that. But I'm pretty sure you're. Well, again, you might have been being facetious, and I may have not picked up on that super well.
I don't think I was being facetious. I was just acknowledging that it could go a completely different direction because that is kind of the obvious interpretation.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if I hard predicted that he wasn't going to get exposed.
Yeah,
I
I
was
don't know.
just
I'll listen back today. I'll see.
yeah. I mean, the obvious answer is that Reagan gets, found out as a fraud, on
Mhm.
national television. But I don't feel like it's going to go that way. I feel
Oh
like
yeah,
that's too obvious.
too obvious. Okay.
You know what I mean?
What
I
might
wonder.
be the counter way it could go?
I don't know. Maybe one of these other guys is a fraud, and
Oh,
they get found out. We'll find out, I suppose. But
yeah,
yeah. So Reagan gets exposed as a fraud on live TV.
on live TV, man. Well, and gee, it's like it's supposed to be the our supernatural spiritual powers real special, and they brought on a guy who wasn't even possessed.
Yeah,
It's
that
like that's bad television. You see, here's the thing. Reagan, he's good at getting a clue. He's good at reading the room, and he read the room too hard.
Yeah, that was the problem, was that like he assumed that they were intending, for him to do his exorcism thing for this actor, that
Yeah.
this and that, the guy would be a bro and pretend to get exercise.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, but it's just like that's boring TV that you brought on a guy who wasn't possessed, and this does nothing to prove whether or not psychic powers are real.
Right, right.
It's a
It is
bad TV
wild.
program.
That's some bad TV.
Yeah, but yeah. When a lot of people say that they get a lot of secondhand embarrassment from this episode, just thinking about Reagan on TV for 30 minutes, roading through every single one of his special moves.
He had some great ones too. Like I really
Yeah.
enjoyed his the finesse of his like spinning around with the salt.
Oh yeah, and him doing that like handstand jump over that. Yeah,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
sick. That
It's
was really
it's
cool.
great special. They're great special moves. It's just what we have to ask here. What's worse, standing in silence for 5 minutes, or throwing salt at a kid for 30 minutes?
That's true. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess if he kept at it for 30 minutes, something in his brain was like convincing him that okay, maybe this will work at some point, or
Yeah, yeah,
with Mob was just
yeah.
like paralyzed into psychosis.
Hmm. Yeah.
He was just having some sort of dissociative break.
Quite possibly there. Yeah. But yeah, that's just I'm talking about perception rather than how the person's feeling, I'm guessing.
Oh, how they're being perceived?
Yeah, how they're being perceived, yeah.
Okay. In that case, I think it might be there's a lot of layers here, okay?
There is
Because
a lot
like
of layers here, yeah.
there's a lot of layers because on the one hand, I think people are aware that, public speaking to some degree is just not some people are just incapable of this feat.
Mhm.
And so like it seems more average, more like, we'll forget about it in a week
Right,
that
yeah.
Mom got up there and, you know, was unable to speak. Okay.
Mhm.
Wow, the shy, quiet kid couldn't give a presidential speech. Amazing. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's not the kind of thing that like people in their 40s sit around drinking beers and go like, "Man, remember in middle school when that kid couldn't, deliver his speech?
Mhm.
What a lame-o." That sort of
Right,
thing.
yeah, you're correct.
But for the Reagan thing, there's also a level to which I wonder if there wasn't tension in the moment, because
Mm,
there's this level of unknown and expertise surrounding the thing, you know.
mm.
In the moment of him doing this 30-minute exorcism, I wonder if there wasn't some suspension of disbelief with like the people where
Oh,
they're
yeah,
just like,
I'm sure
"Oh,
audiences were.
maybe this just takes a while." I've never actually seen an
Right.
exorcism in live and in person. I mean, maybe
Maybe it
this
just
is
takes
just
that long.
how long it takes. I've only seen freaking, The Conjuring or whatever. So
Yeah.
who's
True, yeah. So, yeah, I'm guessing in the moment, a lot of people may have been impressed there or whatever until
yeah,
they were like, hey, this kid isn't actually
yeah.
possessed.
I guess with the after effect,
Yeah.
Reagan's is significantly worse.
Oh, absolutely. Well, because he got the internet dogpile about it. He became a meme. They made
Yeah,
gifs of him throwing salt.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I guess that's not debatable. That like
Yeah. Yeah,
by
I was
the
just
end,
yeah. But you're right. Both from a public perception and from how both Reagan or Mob felt in those moments. Yeah,
mhm,
Reagan was probably running a little bit of adrenaline there of, "Oh, I'm on TV." Ooh." But
sure. Well,
yeah.
and I don't think that the 30-minute exorcism, 30 minutes of throwing salt by itself would have been an issue. You know,
Mhm.
especially if after 30 minutes, this dude had been a bro and pretended to have the evil spirit leave him.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I think
Well, I mean, that
we could
that
have
that
saved some
was
face.
yeah, I mean, that was the script, though, was that he was supposed to be fake, you
Right.
know? Which again, bad television, honestly. Like
Yeah. Yeah, because imagine if it had gone as scripted. They wheel this
yeah.
guy out, he's acting all weird, and then Jodo or whatever, what's his name?
Mhm. Jodo, you got it.
Jodo, sweet. Getting better at the names thing. Uh,
Yeah.
Jodo McWrinkleface, gets up and walks over and just goes like, "Oh, this guy's not really possessed."
Yeah, it's just like, what is that? Why
That's
would it
that's like 2 minutes tops of TV.
yeah, like,
That's not how you fill a schedule.
what was the special supposed to be? But I mean,
Yeah,
of course, of course, this whole thing, was all played into Jodo's plan here. But
yeah.
but then again, I guess the host wasn't super aware of it either. I don't think he was like, oh yeah, we're gonna take down this Reagan guy or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. Or maybe he told the kid, hey, if I go up, act like you get exercised. If Reagan goes up, just keep being a kid actor.
I don't know, because it seemed like the host knew that this was the plan the whole time.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, so he knows that the kid was an actor the whole time. But I don't know if
Yeah.
he knew this was a plan to take down Reagan.
It seems like perhaps, the writers did not consider, uh, that this needed to be a believable program and just kind of conjured up whatever plan could get Reagan, exposed.
Listen, is it not? I need to ask one to make compelling fake television for me to think about.
Yeah, I mean, it's what's the term for this? Contrivance? Where it's like,
Yeah, yeah. It's a contrivance, but it's like I don't care. It's fun,
"Oh, sure, sure." I mean,
It's
it's
fun
not a
to talk
bad
about.
episode or anything.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's the it's
It's just something I thought about while watching it this time that I don't think I thought about it the last few times I saw it. I was just like, oh yeah, that's like bad TV.
not good TV. It's not made by Studio Bones, that's for sure.
No, it's not. But yeah, so Reagan's a meme, and he got
Mhm.
we have an anime character canonically canceled on Twitter.
Yeah, baby.
Gosh. But yeah, I mean, I love that scene with the like Inokawa's asking Mob about, hey, do you know about what happened to Reagan?
Mhm.
And Mob doesn't use social media. We never see him on like a smartphone, and we've never seen him use a computer. And he
That's
was
because
very surprised. Huh?
Mob is based.
He is, yeah. Well, because yeah, when he was in that internet cafe with Reagan, and they were looking at those forums, he was like, "Oh, it's just a bunch of people insulting each other." It's like, yeah, that's the internet mob.
That's the
But yeah,
happiest place on earth.
when he hears that so many people are talking about Reagan, he's like, "Oh, good, that was the plan."
Mhm.
Mob knows something very, a great. But Mob has some great wisdom too. He knows that getting roasted is getting posted.
Getting roasted is getting posted.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my
yeah.
favorite Phil Jameson video. I believe that's his name.
Which one?
Countertop coffee, where he's like
Yeah.
pouring coffee all over his countertop, and he's like, you're gonna share this because you're annoyed by it.
Mhm.
It was a video all about like outrage bait.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I think you shared me
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Getting roasted is getting posted.
That's right, baby. He
So,
knows life.
yeah. So Mob is blissfully unaware of the horrors of getting a dog pile on the internet, of being the villain of the day.
That's great. Good for
Yeah,
Mob.
yeah, good
Probably
for him, honestly.
good for his psyche, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
If he were to the wiles of the internet, he would probably just be like going 100% all the time, you know.
Oh yeah, it would not be good for anybody.
He just gets addicted to outrage.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh boy, yeah, that'd be awful.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, stay offline, Mob. Stay
Hmm.
offline.
Yeah.
But yeah, Reagan's once again uh all alone here. He has nobody to turn to. He tries
Hmm.
going back to like the bar and stuff, but they won't help him because they feel like they could be victims of him potentially.
They are.
Uh well, I mean, the people at the bar, it sounds like he just kind of would talk to them about whatever MLMs they were falling into and him being like, "Hey, that's a scam."
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I was under the impression he was doing some scamming with them as well. Maybe not as
I
hardcore
mean,
as his albums
maybe,
and
but
stuff, you know, but
yeah, yeah. I mean, it seemed to be the implication to me.
it was more an
Last
ego
episode.
thing, you know?
Hmm?
Was it more like an ego thing? The
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, he would just go in there and everyone would thank him for his advice and stuff.
Yeah, that seemed to be what he was doing whenever he
Oh,
would
okay.
go there. Yeah, or at least that's
So
how I'm perceiving it.
at least no money changed hands, you know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. At least there. But yeah. So they won't help him out. He's closed down the office and sitting by himself in the dark and listening to daily talk shows talk about him and got the phone ringing off the hook, but he's not answering it. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, he's a sad, sad man. And they're freaking following him to his house. That's not great.
That's how paparazzi does it, baby.
Yeah, it's awful. Oh yeah, and
Yep.
he's trying to defend himself on the internet, but everybody like automatically goes, "Oh, that's Reagan."
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes.
The whole fake account
No,
thing, the whole
I'm
yeah.
trying to be objective. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a whole thing for him,
Yeah.
Reagan. Yeah. So with the paparazzi outside of his house and harassing him,
Mhm.
they're like, "Hey, you should like I don't know, hold a press conference." He's like,
Press
I'll
conference.
hold a press conference.
That's
I'll do that.
so funny, but also like such a there's this weird tension between like this being like the internet age and how things are kind of handled in that situation and being kind of
Mhm.
old school where it's like if you were publicly defamed the only thing you could do to address everyone is to call a press conference.
Well, now, mind you, this was written around 2012 or so. The internet
Yeah,
wasn't quite what it is right now. Little
sure,
bit
sure,
different state of the internet.
sure. Yeah,
But only slightly different. Still Twitter, still
yeah,
mobs, still
sure.
yeah,
But we
all
had
that, but yeah.
I guess we had not yet I'm pretty sure by 2012 we hadn't like cemented this idea of the YouTuber apology video.
Well, also, it's that Reagan's not a YouTuber. This wasn't like an internet show. This was on national TV.
Right, right.
So,
Because at that
yeah.
point that was still a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this
Yeah.
happened on television, so he's gonna address it on television.
Yeah. I really liked his I really liked how his mom emailed him again. We got
Yeah.
like a one of those quiet scenes where he's reading emails from his mother
Hmm.
and she wrote him a apology speech.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
I just really wanted Reagan to get up there and say with his chest, "I have made a severe and continuous lapse in judgment."
But you know what? He doesn't do that because sometimes you just get tired of it all.
Yeah.
I love that moment of just like, thank you for coming here. Why are you here?
Yeah. That was so good.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Like why do you all care so much about this that you're all
Yeah.
here? Why have y'all harassed me to the point that I have to come and hold a press conference?
Mhm. And
Uh,
can just anyone hold a press conference or, like, are
I,
people I guess, like,
I think enough
given that
media
it's
wanted to hear from him.
yeah, I guess given that it's a press conference, if the press is interested in hearing, then, yeah, you could probably get it going. But
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
interesting is, like, who's renting this building? Who's paying for this? You know?
That was in the back of my mind as well, as how did they rent this space, but maybe the press rented it?
Yeah. How do press conferences work is what I wanna know.
Yeah,
I
we're both a couple of not journalists, if you couldn't tell. I don't know if
I
that came
current
across.
I currently have, like, a Michael Scott framework of how press conferences work, where Michael
Yeah.
Scott that episode where he's, talking about declaring bankruptcy,
Oh, okay.
and he
Yeah, so
just
you just say, "I declare a press
declaring
conference," and
bankruptcy.
people show up.
Right, like, I'm just imagining a world where it's like, you just go out into the street and it's like, "I'm going to hold a press conference."
And then everybody goes, "Yeah, okay." Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, he's important enough to be holding a press conference. We gotta go. We
Yeah,
gotta see. Yeah, but no, I mean, I guess it seems that yeah, enough press wanted to know. They wanted to hear. They
yeah,
wanted
yeah,
the scoop.
yeah. Because like, currently, we only really do press conferences for, like, presidents and stuff, yeah?
There's like press tours and stuff. I mean, maybe they don't call them conferences, but there's I don't know. I'm always seeing celebrities and stuff in front of a bunch of mics. It's
Oh, yeah, I mean, but those are just, like, interviews, yeah? I mean,
yeah. Sometimes I don't know. I don't know. I don't keep up with enough press conferences to be like, yes, I know the
I
ins and
guess
outs.
does it technically count when, like, there's a film festival and then they do those, like, panels after the film where actors answer questions about the movie or whatever?
I mean, well, sometimes press is there. I guess you know what? I think a press conference is a press conference as long as at least two people from the press are
At
gathered in
least
one
2?
room. At least two are gathered in one room and ask the same person a couple of questions.
Wow. You you've drastically lowered the bar for a press conference.
Well, you know what? I don't think that we don't do enough press conferences anymore. We need
Okay,
more. I don't
okay.
know.
I guess if that works, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But yeah, so Reagan's up there. He's he's answering the questions and all, and as pointed out, all cases are solved. It's kind of hard for me to call him a true fraud because he gets results.
Right, that is interesting because, like, um, as far as, like, the editing pictures and things goes, there's a certain level of deception under it,
Yeah,
but, like, does the person leave with, uh, their shoulders not tight anymore? Sure.
yeah.
But it's like I don't like that there's the underlying deception
Hmm.
of the spiritual entity or whatever, because like if on paper or in parlance, in like the agreement between the customer and the owner, the business, whatever, the worker,
Hmm.
uh the agreement is, hey, I have an issue with a spirit. Will you get rid of this spirit for me?
Hmm.
And he is not doing that. At
Well, I
least
mean, that's
not.
what mob's for.
Yeah, at least not when Mob isn't around.
Hmm.
Now, Mob is kind of a loophole on a lot of these cases because it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
the spirit does get eliminated because of Mob, but it's heavily implied that a lot of the customers, when Mob's like at school and stuff, Reagan's still seeing people.
Hmm.
That a lot of them, he's just like photoshopping their pictures and massaging their backs and grating salt onto them.
Yeah.
And it's
And he
like,
gets results.
what is results though? Like, because is he able, because we know Reagan can't see spirits,
Hmm.
so he cannot know if they actually have a spirit problem or not. You could argue that maybe a large percentage of these people don't have spirit problems and are just like superstitious wackos who,
Hmm.
I've got a strange tension in my shoulders. This must be the devil sort of
Right,
thing.
right, yeah, 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 yeah.
You could argue that some of it is that, but there's no way 100% of it is that.
Well, that's why he says that when getting rid of a spirit, it's like 99%, right? And
Uh-huh.
so, and it gives them that 20% discount if they have to come back.
Right, but they're still paying him twice.
Once for a really good massage and once for an actual exorcism
Yeah, fair
at a
enough.
discount.
Fair enough.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, so uh yeah, so at the conference, everybody keeps throwing all these questions at him, and they've dug up his high school essay, and talked about wanting to be somebody,
Yeah.
which kind of sends him into kind of a spiraling flashback of sorts of like, oh, yeah, I did want to be somebody at some point.
Yeah.
Uh, I used
I
to be
think
curious. I used to like have drive and stuff, but I got bored and quit my job. And why did I
mhm,
become a fake psychic?
yeah. And then
Yeah,
he flashes back to the mob scene,
yeah,
meeting
yeah,
Mob.
yeah,
So he's basically stuck with this whole thing because of Mob.
yeah. Because of mob, yeah.
Yeah.
He got to be. He is somebody now. He is somebody to mob. He's
Right.
his teacher. He's his mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
It
think that's
is.
really sweet.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that Reagan's incredibly fortunate that he did not grow up in the current influencer sphere. He would he would have just, you know, yeah, basically if Reagan had grown up, in the influencer culture, he would just be posting pictures of himself to Instagram. Just vapid and
Well, I mean, I think Reagan, he wants like a challenge and stuff. I mean, I feel like that's why he's still
okay.
doing this. He got bored giving like massages and stuff, but once Mob joined up, it's like, wow, real spirits here. And he's
Right.
always coming up with new things to do for the company and whatnot, and he's always on the lookout. Like he's a good businessman in a
Right.
way.
He
And I think he's looking for the challenge and the excitement of it all.
Sure. So he would have done something a little more difficult, like set up like Hustle Academy, that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But
He would set up Hustle Academy is what he would
yeah, he would have
do.
he would have made something for the Sigma grinders out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There we go. No matter what, no matter where you place Reagan, he's gonna be on that grind set.
Yeah. Rigen Arataka teaches the grind. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's see. This tweet isn't loading for me right now, but I just so the Studio Bones, the directors and all, they just really like that flashback between Mob and Reagan, which is why we've seen it twice.
That's cute.
Uh it
It's
was
cute.
at this point in the manga that we finally got to see that flashback. They put it in season 1 just in case they didn't get to have a season 2.
Aw. That's cute.
Yeah, yeah, they just liked it so much, and they were like, "Listen, we'll put it in season 1, and if we get a season 2, we'll make it from Reagan's perspective instead of Mob's."
Aw.
Yeah, so we got to hear all Reagan's thoughts about Mob in that scene, and how he's this kid delusional. Either way, he seems really bothered by what's going on.
Mhm.
I better say something good to him here.
Yeah, that was really sweet. I enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Very good.
it's very sweet. It's very good.
Thank you. Thank you, Reagan. Very cool.
Yup, very cool.
But yeah, so he has that flashback and sort of realizes that he's kind of been kind of poopy to Mob.
Yeah, yeah. It's good to hear him, acknowledge that. I think this is the first time we've heard him even think about this. Oh yeah, I've
Mhm.
been just using him over and over, and I haven't grown at all.
Right, right.
But then he looks up at the camera and goes, "Wow, Mob, you really have grown up." And it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
and
That was really
that's
nice.
the thing that started the fight. You
Mhm,
know, why don't you grow up, Mob? And that's what
mhm.
kind of ends the fight here is,
Oh,
you
nice,
have
nice.
grown up. Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
the
So
bookends.
yeah, bring it right back around. And so Mob throws him a bone here in this scene and makes everything float.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Yeah. It's very cool.
So that does bring up complications later.
Just bring up some complications later. But yeah, we get that post press conference scene of Mob and Reagan at sunset, facing away
Mhm,
from each other, and he says, do you know? Did you hear what they've been saying about me? And
mhm.
Mob says, well, yeah, I know. I've known this whole time. I know that you're a genuinely good guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was sweet.
yeah. And it's like that's why he's following him, not because he perceives him as a great psychic or whatever, but because he's a good guy. He's a good mentor
Yeah.
towards him.
Mhm. Good stuff.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
yeah. Yup. So yeah, that was a very nicely lit scene, and we get one more spin around. They got to show us that flashback one more time as we watch that
One more
scene.
time.
One more time, come on, let's go. Let's go. We animated it. We're proud of it. Gonna
Yeah,
show it again.
yeah. At least we're not in, like, Naruto sitting sad on the swing set,
Yeah.
territory,
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
no, well, it's like this show's just not long enough to like do that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
But
it's
imagine they did.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, we've seen Deku at the computer,
Yeah, yeah, or
and,
Deku crying at the computer
and
is
they
just
do
like,
that. And they did that. Did they do that in World Zero Mission? Like, I think they did.
I
The
think
the,
so.
the third movie, because like I think you turned to me during the movie, and we're like, I just now, it's this again.
I turned to you a lot because I was just like, hey, I was not prepared for any of this.
I got confused. I'm sorry.
When did Deku become Spider-Man?
Horikoshi just really likes Spider-Man.
I guess so. I mean, everyone likes Spider-Man, but it's like that didn't bring about the anticipation that Mr. Strength Man here,
Hmm.
who up until that point in my mind had only done things like, kick stuff real hard,
Yeah,
was gonna shoot freaking grappling hooks out of his arms.
spice it up.
Spice it up.
Yep. But yeah, so that's the end of that one. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about that episode, or we can go to the other one?
I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. Lots of character development and kind of nice to see them wrap up this kind of fight with Reagan and Mob. I thought it
Yeah,
was good.
yeah, yeah. It's called the separation arc, is what it's called.
They have a name for all these, don't they?
Well, well, yeah, they're arcs in anime. Of course, they have names, man.
Do they have official names or are these fan names?
That's a good question. I don't actually know.
Is this just what people on the Tumblr call it?
I mean, I'm going off of the wiki here, so.
Yeah. Well, you can just put anything on a wiki.
Well, I know you can, but yeah, they require a certain amount of like citation or whatever. But I have no idea how they divide these up like officially.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh yeah, we got to see some cameos from like Teru was in this episode. It's just like, hey Teru, been a while.
Haru shows up in the next one, right?
He does show up in the next one, but he was also in
In this
this
one?
episode. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. He was watching the press conference and
yeah. And he was like, man,
it
he
just
can't be a fraud. He
it just
can't be.
it just cuts to Teru for a second and he's just watching on his phone and it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, hey Teru, it's been a
Yeah,
while.
it's like, hey, yeah, it's like it's been a while since we've seen him. I want to see him. So,
Yeah.
just a little taste for the next episode,
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. They had to
so
reintroduce him organically, I guess.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, so when we get to this, so we get to the next one, and it, we open up, find out that the psycho helmet cult is it's all going good for them, except they don't have any scripture or any real goals other than just finding their leader.
Find the psycho helmet kid.
Yeah, they just gotta find him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I love Misato in that scene because it's just like I really want to see this happen. I want to see Mob become leader of this cult. Why? Because I don't know. It just seems like it'd be fun. I guess I don't know. What do you want from me?
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Oh my god! So you just really like the bit, huh? It's just commit to the bit, I guess.
You gotta commit to the bit.
Sure. And so she's like, yeah, you know what?
If
I've
you don't commit
dedicated
to the
time to
bit,
this. I gotta see this through.
if you don't commit to the bit, what are you gonna commit to? You know?
Very true. I think people with commitment issues first need to commit to the bit and then see where that
First,
goes.
first commit to the bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's your starting point.
Yeah. It's a good exercise.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the psycho helmet cult had seen Mob on TV.
Hmm.
They connected the whole earthquake poltergeist incident to him and were able to enhance the photo enough to see that the buttons on his uniform were from Salt Middle School.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. That
yeah.
was pretty wild.
Oh, yeah. So they're like, it's gotta be him.
Something about like Japanese uh school uniforms. Like, I
Mhm.
don't know if it's just that a lot of protagonists in animes and video games and stuff have worn those.
Mhm.
I associate them with being awesome.
There is a certain coolness to me about the uniforms, and yeah, and I guess because I did not grow up having to like wear a uniform or whatever.
Mhm.
There is something cool about it, despite the fact that Mob is supposed to be very average and unremarkable. But
Yeah.
I think there is a certain coolness to them. And I don't know, maybe it's because I didn't have to wear uniforms growing up.
It's not even just whether it's a uniform or not, though. Like, the concept of uniformity or whatever. It's just that, like, I don't know if the look of it looks cool to me because of, like, the inherent coolness of the design or whatever,
Mhm.
or because so many, like, protagonists have worn that and been cool.
Mm, mm.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm
Yeah,
trying to figure
I
out.
can say, yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah, about
Yeah,
associating it with like protagonists or whatever.
yeah.
I'm
Maybe
trying to
I
think in my
just
mind, which protagonists are you talking about? Because I can't think of any off the top of my head that were like I know that like My Hero Academia, they were wearing them, but then not anymore. Different uniform in high school.
right.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
Hikaru no Go is what comes to mind when
Yeah,
I see that uniform. Yeah,
I think of Hikaru no Go, I think of, uh, Persona, I think? Persona 3, the
Persona 3.
protagonist is wearing
Mm.
something similar to that. Um,
Right, they're called Gakuran, by the way. This
yeah.
specific uniform.
Yeah, I don't need to know that.
Oh, okay. Well, in case you wanted to Google it later, I'm sorry that I gave you
Yes, in
valuable
case in
information.
case in case I wanna get one, you know?
Well, in case you want to look up protagonists who have worn Gakurans.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think of that, Yu Yu Hakusho, I think
Hmm.
he was green,
Yeah, his
his
was green, but
character
it's still the same style.
is
Yeah.
still the same style,
Yeah. Okay.
and so there's that. I I'm sure if I, like, looked back into my mind, just of all the JRPGs and stuff I've played with, like, school elements,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of people who have been cool and worn that uniform, essentially. I think,
Nice, nice.
remember Shaman King?
Yeah, I remember Shaman King. Yeah.
I think he wore that uniform at various points too.
I do not remember nearly enough about Shaman King to remember that there was a school element, so
I have, like, a vague memory of it. I could be
okay.
entirely wrong, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, no,
That
I'll look that up later. But
that's my
yeah.
point though, is that,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's
Yeah, it's an association with protagonists.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I get you.
But it does seem to look cool, especially because, like, you know, maybe not for Mob, but for some of these other ones, you could easily get these guys out of these, you know, school uniforms as much as possible or whatever, but, like,
Mm.
seems like some of them just kind of roll into it and go like, "Yeah, let's have them wear the cool looking uniform."
Right, right. I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
I think the protagonist of, Persona 4 as well, because, like, I think the protagonist of Persona 3 has like a jacket situation going on, like, where he's wearing,
Mm.
like, a vest and a jacket sorta thing. Or I don't know if there's a vest, but there's more of a blazer situation going on. But I think Persona 4, that protagonist might have, I don't know.
This guy?
Yeah, yeah, that's the Gokuran jacket, right?
Um, I don't know. This looks kind of like a blazer to me. I don't know. Well, maybe it's because it's not all buttoned up. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there are points where it's buttoned up in the
Oh,
game.
okay. Yeah.
But Persona 3, look at the Persona 3 protagonist. He's
Okay.
got, like, a he's got more of a blazer situation going on.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, this is much more of a blazer.
Yeah, but it's still got that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uniform vibe, you know?
Oh yeah. Like yeah, because I'm guessing that's supposed to be a uniform. Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
it.
He's got like the armband that they sometimes do.
Yeah, and he's got the
Yeah,
school patch on the left breast.
yeah.
Yeah.
Neat.
So there's that. And then I mean Joker even has a version of a school uniform for his, his is a little more colorful because he gets to have the red striped pants because red is just the theme of Persona 5.
Hmm. Yeah, I always like those pants.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. His,
Persona
his is much more of a blazer situation. He doesn't have like the neck of the Gakuran, but
Yeah.
I do
I
I do love those pants. Those are very stylish.
Yeah.
Which is why when Mom bought me some like plaid pants, I did not say no to those.
Yeah, man. It's like Persona 5 had no business being as styling as it was.
Absolutely no business. uh,
By
yep.
Persona 5 Royal when it comes to Nintendo Switch, everyone.
Maybe one day I'll purchase a Switch, but I have other things I want to purchase. So
So that you can play Persona 5 Royal, yeah.
yeah. No, I mean that would definitely be on my list of
You
games that I'd.
you're almost at, like, the intermediary stage, though, like,
Mhm.
there is no way in 2 to 3 years we don't have some sort of Switch revision.
Yeah.
Like, the Switch 2 or the Switch Pro or something. I've had this thing for, 5 years now.
Yeah. Yeah.
5 years I've had this Switch. They gotta
They're gonna do something, I suppose.
it's in a weird space where people need to just, like, stop buying Switches because, like,
Yeah, so
it's
that
very
Nintendo will
obvious
be like,
that
we gotta do something now.
well, no, I mean, I think they're planning something. There's no way they're not planning something.
Oh
But
yeah.
I think that it might, I can just imagine a situation where I'm existing in the year of our Lord 2022, and I don't have a Nintendo Switch, and I'm not inclined to buy one because I know that it's getting around that time where it's like, they gotta do the next thing soon. And with the popularity of the Switch, I cannot imagine them not doing, like, a Switch 2,
Mm.
you know?
Oh yeah.
I think this is the thing. Nintendo has solidified what is gonna make it different than the PlayStations and the Xboxes. They've
Right.
solidified that. So they've gotta go in on the Switch 2. And I think if they're smart, which is questionable at times, they're gonna make it backwards compatible
Yeah.
so that
Yeah, that
we
would be
don't
the
have to do
thing.
this freaking port old games over a whole bunch thing anymore, you know?
Yeah, that'd be the thing. Well, and I'm just like I could see I could feel the anxiety that they may have of, the Wii was like one of the best selling consoles ever, and
Mhm,
then they made the Wii U.
mhm, and it sucked.
So, yeah, so I can see them being like, "We can't mess this up, y'all. We can't do
Yeah,
another Wii U. We can't do this again."
all they have to do is make a Switch that can output in 4K, output to TV in
Mhm.
4K,
True.
and then have probably do the OLED screens on just the base model. OLED screen for the
Yeah,
base
yeah,
model. You know, have or maybe just have an OLED option. I don't know. But anyway,
yeah.
OLED screen, maybe a higher point rate or whatever. If you could get that screen to like 1080p maybe for handheld play. I don't know.
Hmm.
And then, make it compatible with older Switch games, but also have, you know, games exclusive for the new Switch that take advantage of that, you know, uh higher power rate,
Yeah.
And it's just like then we're good. We're Gucci. I don't know how we got here.
Hey Nintendo, I hope you're listening to this Mob Psycho 100 podcast. I hope you
maybe
enjoyed that. I hope you're
maybe this is
listening.
an offshoot. Maybe if you just like put Nintendo and stuff in the what's it called, tags.
Tags on YouTube are interesting because like
Yeah.
I don't think they said they don't do much, but I will certainly be writing Luke and Jay talk about Nintendo Switches for way too long.
Yeah. So yeah, do that. And then maybe after Mob Psycho's done, we pivot into a Nintendo podcast.
Yeah, sure. All right, so I think I can. Yeah, well, I mean, walking backwards, I understand. So we got here because we started talking about Persona, which got you talking about the Switch. Because
Right,
we were talking
because
about uniforms, because we were talking about Mob, because we were talking about Mob and getting caught by getting on camera from the Psycho Helmet cult, because Masato is talking to him about that, and she's like, "Hey, Mob, if you would just run real good and
yeah.
use your powers to run real good,
Mhm.
the Psycho Helmet cult will acknowledge you."
Right. But that is cheating. He can't.
Yeah, he doesn't he doesn't want to cheat, and also he's not all that interested in a cult. She's like, "Oh yeah, you have
Right.
a fan club," and he's like, "Oh my god, a fan club?" And then she's like, "Yeah, it's like a religion." And he's like, "Oh, it's a religion."
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping it was
Yeah.
like some girls liking me, you know.
Yeah. I was
I was
hoping
hoping it was like,
for girls.
yeah, he was hoping to be like, like the girls from like Pokemon who were always hanging around Gary Oak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
those.
wanted that.
He's like, it's like I want that.
Yeah. Oh man. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how wholesome like 2/3 of this episode are.
Oh yeah, people are always talking about this episode. It's like, yeah, I love episode 8. It's where Mob runs a 5K and then nothing else happens.
I do love the 5K thing though. Though here's my dilemma with this 5K situation, okay?
Yeah.
They know that Mob desperately wants to make the top 10 on this thing.
Yes.
He wants to do it so he can ask out Tsubome. I've got a different thing about Tsubome after this. So
Oh, nice. Yeah, we get a little bit from her this episode.
hold on to your pants, guys. But anyway,
Yeah.
um but they run this 5K and the Body Improvement Club is also running in the 5K. That is
Yes,
five
indeed.
that is 5 slots that Mob
Yeah.
is definitely not getting. They
Yeah.
are decreasing his chances.
But yeah, they're going at it as rivals. They are treating him equally.
But that's foolish.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing was kind of, Mob was never gonna make it. Even I think the big thing was that he fell in the beginning here, but
Oh,
I think,
if he hadn't scraped his knee, he was
well,
just
I mean
gonna.
that seemed to really psych him out, and like it looked like it really hurt. Like his pace was getting bad and sporadic. I think he could have finished had he not scraped his knee, but I think
Sure.
him scraping his knee is why he passed out.
Yeah. And like reasonably, it was really cool that like he was in the top 100.
Yeah, yeah, he made it to the top 100 from the bottom 10. Yeah,
Yeah.
he did pretty good, all things considered.
It's really sick, but like I don't think a scraped knee is the difference between finishing in the top 100 and finishing in the top 10.
Yeah, no, I don't think he would have made it in the top 10. I'm
Yeah.
just saying he would have like actually finished and not passed out.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
then
yeah. So, but yeah. To go back, I guess chronologically or whatever. Yes,
Mhm,
he is doing this because he wants to ask out Tsubomi.
mhm.
Um, so like
Which which my god, you know, we got a scene, okay? We got a scene. We'll talk about
yes,
that scene in a little bit.
yeah.
But let me tell you, I had that experience that all Kingdom Hearts fans experience anytime that there's like a trailer or a thumbnail with Kyrie in it. You know, I went on to Funimation's website to watch this episode today, and I saw that Tsubome was in the thumbnail,
hmm
and I had that Kyrie moment, that prayer of like, oh my lord, let her do something in this episode, please, please God, please.
Yes.
Just let her do something.
But yeah, so we so Mob goes to, his work after school. He's got 10 days to train, but he's at Spirits and such, and he's like, like moving his legs the whole time because he's like, I gotta get as much exercise as I can. I gotta squeeze it in any chance I get.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is cinematic parallels to Deku in season 2 of My Hero Academia when he did that standing chair sit for an entire class.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, it was a fun bit. I like that. I like that bit. I had to like look that up because I was like, I cannot remember where that was in the show.
Hmm.
But I was like, cinematic parallels. Yeah. But yeah. So Reagan's like, you all right over there, sport? Like, but yeah, like Dimple explains to him, it's trying to ask out Sibility by getting into the top 10. So Reagan's just like, listen, you can go running. I'll need you here, despite the fact that his calendar is very clearly full.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like, no, Mob, you go run. I'll go running with you.
yeah. That was very good guy Reagan. You know.
Yeah. So they go running together. Reagan's really out of shape. he doesn't
Right.
run.
Yeah.
So so they go running together, and Ritsu sees them.
Hmm.
And Ritsu's like, oh, he's trying to ask out Sabomi? I
Oh
remember
man.
her. She she left us while we were playing hide and seek.
Yeah, man. Tsubome is not, you know, not measuring up here. You know,
Uh,
this
you
might
know,
this might not be it, Chief. I don't know how I feel about it. You know.
but yeah. Uh, so Ritsu just says, just be careful, brother. And then I think that's about where we cut to the
Hmm.
scene with Tsubomi.
Hmm.
Uh, so Ritsu and Teru are helping Reagan out
Hmm.
at Spirits and such because Mob can't be there. He's training. So, in comes Tsubomi and her friend. They're looking for relationship advice because apparently that's something Reagan does.
Reagan does everything. You know.
He does, yeah. So, they fill out like their forms or whatever, and you know, and this girl, I think her name was Maki, is like,
Hmm.
I don't know if I should get this guy a very expensive pair of cleats or whatever. And
That was funny.
yeah, so
Oh man,
as yeah.
we skipped over the scene where Onigawara, I think Onigawara,
Yeah, that's his name. Yep.
gives Mob his running shoes.
Yeah, because he bought the wrong size. But he gave a very good speech there of like, it's not about
Yeah,
technique, it's not about experience, about how much you want it. Shadow
yeah,
Leader, you can do it.
that was
So
great.
take these shoes.
Okay, but back to the obligatory scene with Sabomi. My lord,
Yeah, so during the whole yeah.
what significance did this have? You know,
I
I've
mean,
got a
yeah,
look. A little
you tell me. You tell me.
got a little bit of like mystery surrounding what exactly she was thinking when she saw that Mob, you know, was in the picture or whatever on the
Yeah,
wall.
he was on the cork board of I think it says our satisfied customers.
Yeah, but like here's the deal with that.
Yeah.
You know, Mob's not in all the pictures, so it's not apparent that he works there.
Yes. It is not apparent that he works there.
Could be construed that he was a customer.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe she thought that he had gone to Reagan for relationship advice?
I mean, that's one way you could do that.
Huh.
You know, it's like I have a lot of thoughts on Tsubomi, but almost all of them are like I gotta wait till the end of the series. But uh,
You gotta wait until the end of our watching season 2 to talk about him?
no, I mean the
Or
end of the series.
oh, because you've read the manga.
Yes.
You know how it ends.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, this is an interesting scene for her because yeah, we don't quite get to know exactly what she's thinking when she sees Mob, and is that even significant to what she said? Certainly, they showed us her seeing a picture of Mob, but you know, does that really
Yeah.
have anything to do with what she said about like, you know, I know a guy from cram school and talk to each other a lot, and
I mean,
you know, should I ask him out?
she talked about making up that story to like test Reagan, which I
Yes.
understand. I think that's legit.
Yeah, that's apparent. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I just want to enter a world where she is no longer Kyrie, you know? Kingdom Hearts
Yeah.
Kyrie, you know?
Yeah. I get you there. I get you there. But
Just
yeah,
I want her to do something.
I understand.
Just anything.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, this shows an interesting amount. She's got some insight here. She's not just taking her friend to some scam artist. She does want to make sure that this guy is at least somewhat legitimate.
Yeah, but she only did that after seeing the picture of Mob. That was interesting.
I mean, was that? I mean, but I think I don't know. That this scene is very ambiguous to me. Let me just say, we never get like a scene of her sitting down and then saying, and then I saw a picture of Mob and I decided to say something, you know.
That's
So,
when I knew it was love.
but yeah. I mean, it's an interesting scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like that. Oh, you're from Salt Middle School. Hey, I know someone from Salt Middle School. Reagan, you shut your mouth.
Yeah, that was really funny to have Ritsu, right?
Ritsu, yeah,
Ritsu.
Ritsu, yeah.
Yeah, have Ritsu like hiding in the corner.
Yeah, because he's like, I can't let her know that Mob is in any way involved with this. But at least now Tsubomi at least thinks that he has been there before, at least once, for something.
Yeah.
So all of his efforts are in vain. She knows he's been there.
Yeah. Supome!
But yeah.
You are an enigma to me.
Yeah, but now we know that Ritsu doesn't, but he's still like, you know, still
And
try for his brother.
I want to sure. I want to note that she is not an enigma by any uh, design of writing. It appears to me it's more she's enigmatic because she's barely gotten any screen time.
Yeah. Like I've said many a times, I won't argue with you too much there. But yeah,
We'll see what happens.
but yeah. So yeah, so Sabomi got some screen time, Teru got some screen time. He's like, "Thank you, Reagan, for inviting me. I like to be included. Thank you."
Yeah.
So
And then he proceeded to just like be in the background of some shots.
yeah, he got to stand around. Good job, Teru.
He was Subomeing hard this episode.
Well, you got to be like, man. So why is Bob's little brother just under a desk here?
Yeah.
Don't know what he's doing there, but whatever.
Good times.
Yep. And so yeah, Mob works real hard. Get a little montage of him running and talking with the Body Improvement Club, and sleeping hard. And it's the day of the 5K that they keep calling a marathon.
Yep.
Yep. And
But it's only 5K. Is that what you're?
and that's what Inukawa said, at least. One of the telepathy club guys, they said something like, "Oh, and 5K is pretty difficult," or something like that. So I don't think they're making a bunch of middle schoolers run 26 miles.
Do they use the metric system in Japan?
They do.
Okay.
Everywhere uses the metric system except for the United States.
The United States, baby. That's how we do it over here in Amtown. You know?
Amtown, yeah.
Amtown. Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. So in parallel to that opening scene, flashback with him and Ritsu as kids, he trips in the same exact way.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
causes his psychic powers to come out.
Yeah. So he trips in the same way and has a real difficult time running this this race after that. uh,
He was dying.
well, I love the way they draw Mob running.
Mm-hmm.
Like
he starts
very
having
perfect.
what's that disease or whatever where like parts of your face start like drooping.
I don't I don't know.
Because he's got some real like facial like plasticity problems, I guess. when when he starts running, it's just like his face just
Mm, mm.
starts falling
He,
apart.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I see. Yeah. Yeah, so, Dimple offers to possess him, but he's like, no, I'm not. No, don't
Yeah,
do that. We finally we get to see some eyebrows on him this episode. They're usually covered by his hair. He's
yeah.
like, no, I'm gonna keep running.
Mob has really improved.
He
Improved
really
a
has,
ton.
yeah. Yeah.
And then
He's made strides.
everyone's like really supportive and proud of him, you know.
Yeah, they're like his parents are like, yeah, he's doing it.
Yeah.
Tsubomi is even like gonna give him a good hey, go get him, Mob. But then I don't know, she like cuts off for whatever reason.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? So he's running next to Inukawa from the telepathy club,
Uh-huh.
and he's kind of gaining on him. He's gonna pass by him, but
Mhm.
maybe Mob just looked way too in the zone. But Tsubomi was gonna be like, oh hey, that's Mob. She was gonna say, hey Mob, go, do your best, whatever she was gonna say. But she kind of like cut herself off.
Hmm.
Maybe she got a better look at him and went, oh, he looks like he's dying. I don't know. I don't know. That'd be pouring salt on his
Maybe.
wounds. Who knows?
I wonder if like fan theory here, I wonder if Subome understands the Sigma grind set, I wonder if she's been on Reddit, and she just knows that Mob needs to hone his craft. He needs to be on the grind. He needs to be putting in the hours. So the, sort of romantic relationship she could possibly uh uh incite between the two of them would only serve to distract him from these things. You know?
I mean, Reagan's taught Mob the grind set well, and I mean, hopefully, Mob is
Yeah.
just always exuding that energy. And yeah, I hope that Tsubomi can pick up on that, so she can understand this relationship will never work.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
That's the real
he's
lesson of Mob Psycho 100 is that Mob needs to realize that if he gets into a relationship, he'll fall off the
yeah,
grind.
he is married to the grind. I'm
Oh
sorry.
gosh.
I'm sorry, Supomi. My heart belongs to the grind.
Yeah, that's the real lesson of Mob Psycho 100.
Yeah. Women don't need him. Married to the grind.
Yeah. But yeah, so and it's the final kilometer of the race, and Mob is not doing super well, and Reagan shows up in
Mhm.
his tank top and shorts.
Right.
And he's gonna help him keep pace for the rest of the race, but we get one last really determined shot of Mob as he runs,
hmm
and he blacks out.
Yeah. That was tough. Also,
Yeah,
Reagan showed up in his little running outfit that they highlighted for a minute there
yeah.
because I guess Dimple made fun of him.
Yeah. Well, I think I think in the manga he said something like, "You're really into this," like, because Reagan doesn't work out. Those probably weren't kicking around. He probably had to go buy those.
Right. That's good. But
Yeah.
yeah. So Mob passes out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, his family is supporting him from the sidelines and stuff before that happens. So
Mm-hmm.
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know how to transition into this.
well,
Okay. There's
we're almost there. We're almost there. So he wakes up in the infirmary, and his teacher's
okay.
like, "Wow, Kageyama, you always seem so down, but lately you've just been seeming so happy. It's really good to see, you know."
Yeah.
So they're just reminding us of how much Mob
How
has
much
changed as a person, and how much his life has gotten so much better than it used to be.
how
Uh,
much love and joy are present in
Yeah,
his
so
neighborhood.
so so we cut to the Kageyama household, and they're all talking about it. His mom's so like, "Oh, I'm so proud of everybody." Ritsu placed ninth, and
Mhm.
Shige, he did his best.
Yeah.
So she's setting out food on the table and everything, and there's a knock at the door, and Ritsu's like, "Oh yeah, I'll get it. It's probably brother. He's probably answering the door, as he does."
Mhm.
And so he goes and he opens that door, and it's not Mob,
Mhm.
it's Show.
I just want parents to survive one anime. Just one.
This one, just
Just one anime. One anime. Both parents hugging their kid at the end.
but I understand. Yeah,
Just
yeah,
both of them. Two of
yeah,
them.
yeah. But yeah. So when I first saw this episode, Show was just so far from my mind.
Uh-huh.
I like, because I wasn't making a podcast
Oh,
about
wow.
this. I wasn't talking to anybody about this. So when he showed up, I audibly gasped. I was so surprised that he was there.
Yeah. I've been wondering when Claw is going to show up again. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's like, obviously that's a loose end that needs to sort of resolve, and
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course we're heading towards the end of the season, um, which is like when the big anime fights need to start happening.
Yep, yep. And that's why we've ended episode 8 the way we have. So yeah, Mob's on the way. So so Sho told Ritsu that, yeah, I told you that I was gonna see you again.
Yeah,
And he goes, "Oh, your parents are here. That makes things complicated."
yeah,
He makes a scary face behind his hand.
yeah,
And so Mob, he's on his way home and he sees, oh, there's smoke. And then he goes over to his house and it's just on fire.
yeah,
And he
yeah, and
walks inside.
he hits 1,000% and all that. We don't have to recap every moment here.
Oh, okay.
You know,
But yeah,
I'm
so we've been, yeah.
I'm my takeaway is I'm not convinced that Ritsu is dead. Like I'm fairly
Mm,
certain that Ritsu is not gonna die.
okay.
That's my call on that. The
That's your call.
parent
Okay.
the parents I am less sure about. Just because I've watched
I see.
anime, Jay. I have watched anime before.
Oh, yeah.
Parents are never safe.
They really are, I mean, I guess congratulations to Mom Kageyama for not dying from anime mom disease.
Anime mom disease, yeah.
Yeah, where you just catch a mysterious illness and die.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's just like they certainly could. They certainly could go very dark
Mhm.
and have mob's parents be dead.
They could.
That seems rough. That seems shattering.
Mm,
Because like here's the balance, like
yeah.
Mob Psycho is at on one hand a show that gets kind of dark sometimes,
Mhm.
but on the other hand, like I don't know if it could pull off and like accurately portray what it would be like for Mob to lose his parents. You know,
I see what you mean. Yeah.
it's not the sort of like angsty show like Full Metal Alchemist where you know Edward Elric just sits around and ruminates on the death of his mother. You know,
Very true. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like if they do kill his parents and then like season 3 opens with an episode where like he and Reagan find a lost dog and give it carrots and do goofs and gaffs. It's just like it's like what are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah, the tonal dissonance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that being tonally dissonant for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get you. I get you. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
that's truly a thing that would like wreck a child's innocence.
Oh,
Mob
absolutely.
is a pretty innocent kid right now. He's seen some stuff, but
Yeah. He's gone through the mind world.
he's gone through the mind world, sure. He's
Yeah.
been in the mind palace before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but he doesn't like he has not experienced loss to that degree.
You're correct. Not to that degree. No.
Yeah.
Uh
And that
no.
that sort of loss like changes a person.
Oh, absolutely. Well, especially at
Yeah.
that age. Yeah.
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 So I don't know. I think Show kidnapped them.
Mhm.
I think that's my gut impression. At least Ritsu. He at least kidnapped Ritsu.
Mhm.
But I don't know what the charring corpses are then, you know.
Right. Right.
Yeah. There
Yeah.
are what appears to be bodies, but I don't know if like I guess there's another aspect to which I don't know if Claw is aware of like what triggers mobs crazy 100%
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, that's interesting to think about. Yeah, about
But
who
like
understands that. Yeah.
right, but like if show does understand, to
Hmm.
create a situation that forces Mob into incredible emotional duress
Hmm.
could be advantageous to him as far as observing what the heck happens under those sorts of circumstances.
So you're seeing this as kind of like an experiment of sorts.
It could be. I'm
Because I
just
mean, well, because like Mob
spitballing right
would have
now.
been there had he not passed out at the race. He probably would have been home by that time.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Show was probably intending to fight Mob or whatever, or get
Hmm.
Mob, but like because Mob wasn't there, he had to improvise.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's like I don't know, man. I'm just spitballing. So
Yeah, this is some really interesting spitballing. I'm
yeah,
into it.
yeah,
Uh, yeah. The next episode is called "Show Me What You've Got" band together.
yes,
Yeah, but you've already kind of given your general predictions here.
yeah. I have no idea what's gonna happen, man. I
Yeah, because yeah, Mob wasn't just going like 1,000% here. He was going like question mark percent here.
yeah, whatever that means,
Conscious.
you know.
And oh man, I love that animation of him like gnashing his teeth and all. That's great.
Yeah,
Good looking stuff. Yeah.
there is indeed weeping and gnashing of teeth. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's like,
Woo,
oh,
woo.
I want to. I really want the parents to make it. You
Mhm.
know, I really.
Yeah, I mean they certainly do remind you. Oh yeah, Mob loves his family so much this episode.
Yeah, it's great to have just like a nice family dynamic and not dead parents in anime.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, it's like yeah, Mob does have the most nuclear family in almost all of shonen anime.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's really chill.
Yeah.
Like the only one I can think of is I know I know we've seen Deku's mom in My Hero Academia. Is his dad around?
So, the implication is that his dad, like, might work overseas or something.
Okay.
Like, his dad's name is Hisashi Midoriya, and Hisashi means literally, something like, I haven't seen you in a long time.
Dang.
and he's never been mentioned in series. This was in, his mom's character profile. That
Yeah,
she has a husband who is indeed like alive, but he's working overseas.
that's
Um
wild.
so yeah, I like to think about how many times Deku's had these like like these speeches of like, "Oh man, I'm letting everybody down. I'm sorry, mom. I'm sorry, All Might." And it's like never mentions his dad. So
Yeah, it's really
never.
weird.
Never
For
mentions his dad. And of course, there is the big theory that because Horikoshi's a big Star Wars fan, they're all
Uh-huh.
like, oh, so All for One is Deku's dad.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's
That's
a
the big,
possibility.
big theory.
It's so crazy though. It's just like, God, can we just have normal parents in an anime, please?
Well, it's. I think Oda of One Piece said this about like moms. He said, moms hinder adventure or something like that. So
Yeah.
that's why there's so many dead moms in One Piece.
Good lord. Just kill all the moms.
Yeah, basically. I mean, nobody has like two alive parents in all of One Piece that I can think of.
Yeah, it's insane, man.
Yeah. It's just shonen.
Do we ever know, like, does Luffy have parents, or did he just, like, fall out of the
Fun.
void?
We know who his dad is.
Okay.
But it's still up in the air about his mom.
Okay.
And his dad is indeed alive.
Okay. Well, that's good, probably. I don't know. I don't know how anime works.
Nope. But yeah, so anything else you want to say about the episode, or do you want to wrap up?
I just want his parents to be alive. You know?
An understandable feeling. I think most people want other people's parents to be alive.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you know. Unless you got
Maybe
some
some
real animosity towards Mob. You're like, yeah, you kill those parents, man. Ugh.
or just animosity towards moms like Oda.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I think Oda hates moms.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
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 No love for moms.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to podcasts and such. Join us next week as we watch Season 2, Episodes 9 and 10. See ya.
Bye.